Hi guys, I wanted to make a video this week and just talk about what's going on, it seems like, with a lot of people. I'm hearing from a lot of different social platforms, people reaching out and just saying that they're really stressed out right now, feeling really overwhelmed. And I know that is something that so many of us are truly going through. But I also want you to understand that some of this that you're feeling is not only this huge energetic feeling of the whole world under enormous amount of stress by our freedoms being taken away, but it's also by design. So those that are in power are choosing to do this psyop on everyone. And each little step they take is well planned out to actually, if you can believe this or not, to break you down, and so that you'll give in and do what they say. They know if they keep throwing enough problems at you, enough stress, they keep taking enough away, you will eventually give in and do what they say. They're also testing who is going to comply and who will not. So the ones that continue to do everything they're told, up to 3 to 4 blanks, and they also are willing to wear the mask when they know it's harmful for themselves, are those that they have written on their lists of compliers. And the ones that won't, and the ones that go to the school boards and are fighting for their children, are also on another list. I remember saying this, it was a few months ago in my newsletter, that they were making lists of who's complying and who's not. I got some really very bad feedback about that, but now we're seeing that really is true. They really are making lists to see who is complying and who will not. And if you don't believe that, I would just encourage you to do some research. So what can we do during this time of a lot of stress, and when we know it's actually being put on us by purpose? Well, what are they depending on? They are depending on us responding to them in a certain way. That means they expect us to be stressed, overwhelmed, go to our addictions, go stay in the house, be afraid, don't do anything. Do all the things that they know will cause us to feel stress, overwhelmed, depression, and even think about suicide and that kind of thing. They want all of this. So we need to realize that we are the ones in charge of our own minds, and we can control how we are going to feel and what we're going to allow them to do. So there was a meme, it wasn't too long ago, and it said that they are implanting the ideas, but they depend upon us to create those ideas for them. And so I want to tell you that if I love how this meme put this together, because it's true. They throw out these different ideas and they're counting on us to create it for them, to create the world of fear. They can't make us afraid unless we give them that power. So every time you start to go down a path that is something that what they want, step back for a minute and decide, what can you do to make yourself feel better? And one of the things I love to do is just go out in nature. I mean, it just seems to heal so quickly, is being out in the sun, just going out in the nature, whatever you like, being outside, connecting to people, even if you may have to call somebody you haven't talked to in a long time, reach out and talk to people, because all of these things are what they don't want. They don't want you to connect to people. They don't want you to be outside because they know it heals. That's why they want you to stay inside. All the things they've told you literally are to hurt you, not to help you. There isn't one single thing that you're doing that will help you. Now, I want you guys to be aware that, if you aren't already, it would be hard to not be aware, but at this point, but they've planned each little piece out, each little thing that they intend to do will all build on each other and lead up to the total new world order. And when you have what they want is a new world order, they are in charge of everything. Somebody did a video that was really good, and it showed, he did all this research of how all the companies in the world eventually lead back to like Vanguard and BlackRock, meaning that the top people own almost all of the companies in the world. Even though we see these different companies, the share owners eventually go back to these two companies. So we have to wake up right now, and we have to start doing something to stop what they're trying to roll in. And I want to tell you, from being someone who was in the programming of the mind control, you know, with the CIA and the MkUltra, all that stuff, they know how the mind works, and they know how to manipulate the masses, and they've been doing it for decades. We have to wake up and stop obeying them at an unconscious level. The one thing that we have on our side right now, and I'd like to give hope, is people are waking up. They are seeing what is being done. This has not ever happened in ever, that a society worldwide is waking up to the deep state cabal, the Illuminati, all the ones that have been ruling the world for a very long time. They have always wanted to be kept secret. Their names kept secret, their business dealings kept secret, so that they could run the world and get away with it. Well, we're finding out who is doing what and what they're involved in. That takes so much power away. You have no idea. I spent my whole life being tortured for keeping the secret, and to never tell who these people were. And then all of a sudden we see that these people are being talked about on all kinds of platforms. Even the mainstream media are talking about people like George Soros, Klaus Schwab with his World Economic Forum, all the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, all these people that were forbidden for years to talk about. I remember back in the day, you were never allowed to mention George Soros. And now he is being talked about on Fox News, and they're going after what he's doing. He's hiring people, and all these DAs, he's been doing it for decades so that they would do his dirty work. And he's been doing it for so long, but guess what? We finally woke up and we know what he's doing. So what are we going to do about it? It's time to stop it. I believe that we're being given this opportunity to know what is happening so that we will take action and we will begin to stop what they are doing. I promise you that we are halfway there because we are aware of who they are and what they're doing. Never has this been allowed. So this in itself, I believe, is breaking down a lot of people programming that were in the Monarch and MkUltra programming. I want you to know that as a coach, I also am seeing more and more people reaching out, and they just said, you know, like the mask, when people started wearing masks, I started getting triggered and I started to remember things. So the unfortunate part of all this, they know this. Okay, they didn't know, I don't believe, that people's programming would break down. But anybody who has had trauma in their life is going to be triggered by what's happening right now. And they know that. It's also re-traumatizing people, because your freedoms are taken away. You're not allowed to go where you used to go. You can't even travel. You have to have some kind of medicine in your body that you don't want. I mean, I could go on and on of what has been going on, but people are feeling the overwhelm of today, but they're also feeling the overwhelm of their own trauma. And it is becoming a worldwide thing. And a lot of people are reaching out and wanting hope. And the one thing that I do to help people is a modality called Eutactics, a tapping. And it's something you can learn to do on your own and release some of that stress and that emotional pain that you have. And it's a real tool you can use in the moment to release the stress you're feeling about anything. And I highly recommend that you learn how to do it. Below, I'll put a link to just learn how to tap below, but it's so amazing to just be able to release your emotions in the moment and have a tool that you can get through this. And so I want you to know, no matter what, you will be able to get through this, and we can do it together. Reach out, and even though maybe you haven't talked to certain people in your family or in your friends in a long time, but you really need somebody, reach out. Don't stay by yourself, and don't stay alone. And if you need to talk, find somebody that can hear what you have to say. Don't stay quiet. Stand up. Be you. Your courage. You have an enormous amount of courage inside. You just haven't used it before. There is so much inside of you that if you allow it, you can be the warrior that we all need right now. And I hope that we will all find our inner warrior, find out what we can do to help in this fight, because this time in history will go down as something that has never been seen or done before in so many areas. And I do have hope that we are going to take back our world and create a new system that is not run by the cabal, Illuminati, and these people who have gotten away with so much for so long. It is time to stop them. And I am so grateful to be a part of that. I have a newsletter. If you guys are interested, you can just go to Laura at laurajworley.com, and there's a sign at the very bottom of the homepage is a newsletter, and I send out 2 to 3 times a week of just information that I find and that's going on in the world that the mainstream media doesn't want to tell us, and whatever else I write about. But I hope that you will just know that we were all in this together, and we can do this. We really can do this. So don't lose hope. And I know sometimes it can look very discouraging. I've had many days of my own anger, and I know a lot of that's been triggered because of my own trauma. So take care of yourselves and go out in nature, be outside, enjoy things that make you feel happy, and let some of this go, and enjoy some of your life each and every day so that you can get through this. Take care.